Well, thank you all for coming here today. Today we're going to talk about face masks. And let's be face masks for woodworking, not face masks for COVID. So they're two different things. So in that vein, we'll take off the COVID one and we'll go to a woodworking one. And this one is one of my favorites. This is called Dust Be Gone. And the reason why I like it, not only is it very lightweight, but it's not like you're wearing anything at all. You can hear me much better talking with this than you can with this. So again, two different masks for two different types of things. And the difference between these masks and what we're wearing every day is the fact that if you get right down to it, we're trying to stop particles of dust, wood dust. We're not trying to stop a virus. Trying to stop a virus with one of these masks is like trying to keep mosquitoes. Just not going to do it. But however, this is dust from sanding is going to be much, much, much bigger than the virus. In fact, these masks virus and the fact that viruses don't float around by themselves. They float around in water droplets. So a water droplet because water droplets are much bigger than the virus itself. So these are one of the biggest hurdles we have to get over is why do we need this stuff in woodworking? I've been woodworking for 20 years, 40 years, 50 years. I've never needed this stuff before. Well, actually you do, because the long-term health risks can be significant. I would call your attention to two things. This is a wood identification and use book that we sell. This is site talks about wood toxicity. And I just so happen to have it right here. And I want to read you a quote. This quote is from a text that was written 2,000 years ago by a Roman scholar. It says that the use similar to other trees in general appearance is ascertained fact that travelers' vessels made in gall of this wood for the purpose of holding wine have caused those that use it. And he's right. This is talking about yew. Yew was a very, very important wood back then, much more than it is today, because yew was used for bows. There's nothing like it as far as springback, and it's the best wood that you can use to make a bow with. It was very, very popular. It was much in demand, but it's a hard wood to work. So there was a lot of wastage. So what they did is the parts of the yew that they couldn't use for bows, they turned into drinking goblets, they turned into anything else that they could. The problem was yew is so toxic, when they poured wine into it, the toxins in the woods dissolved in the wine, and they were literally poisoning themselves. Wood can be harmful. Looking in this database, and again, online there, available now to you, or a book like this lists, and I know you can't read it, but just all kinds of woods. And it talks about their health effects, the toxicity. And let me just pick one here real quick, because this is one of my favorite woods. And it's maple that's got the marks in it. That you see the ambrosia maple. It's got all those pretty little marks in it. Ambrosia maple is an irritant, sensitizer, and can cause a really hyperallergic reaction. It could shut down your breathing system if you're looking at spalted or ambrosia maple. So this is why it's important that we wear these masks when we woodwork. And it's also important why any proper wood shop needs to have a mask to protect your lungs. It needs to have a dust collection machine to pull the sawdust from where the saw is cutting. It also needs an air purifying machine to sit up in the ceiling and filter the air at least 8 times an hour to get those little floating wood pieces of dust out of there. What is about the wood dust is particularly bad. If you could see a piece of wood dust, it would look like a spike ball, sharp little spikes. And when it drifts around, those spikes attach to something and it sticks it. It's hard to get up. Any dust that you make in your shop is going to stay in your shop until you physically remove it. To physically remove it, you're going to vacuum it up, or you're going to wear it, or you're going to inhale it. But either way, it'll get out of your shop. You just don't want it to be covered with you, and you don't want, especially don't want to breathe it. Piece of sandpaper, piece of pretty wood. This is an exotic wood. It means it comes from the country. So if we're going to have an allergic reaction to woods, it's going to be with the wood from another country that we've never been exposed to. So, just a little bit of sanding. We've made all this dust, and this dust is now floating in here, just in the air, looking for something to attach to. So we want to make sure that we block it, and this is how we're going to do it. I brought with me, these are the masks that I use in my shop. I use this one a lot. This is a great summertime mask. I use this one a lot. This is a great wintertime mask. So when they get dirty, you just buy the box of liners and put the new one in. They have the valves on here so it doesn't fog your glasses. I'll give you a tip on glasses. Most all these masks have this little piece of metal or something right here in the nose. If you mold this around your nose, and if you take your glass and put these part of the frame on top of that clip, like this, I'm not fogging up the glasses. See, hear the air? No fog. So put the clip on top of that frame, and that will hold it against your nose and keep the air coming from up and fogging up your glasses. That's worth the price of admission just for that one. What I use, and I've got the microbial, this one. These have to be hand washed. They're reusable. They'll last a long time. Hand wash them. These, you're replacing the filter, and this is 2 types. If you don't like something over your ears, this goes around the back of your neck. This also is one that I use. It's made by the same people. Again, it's got the removable filter, but this one goes around by your ears and back of your neck to hold it in place. Works really well too. All my masks, when I'm in my shop, I keep them either in the package they come in, or I keep them in a drawer so that the dust that's in the air won't settle on these things and get on the inside or the outside. This is also a mask I like. This is, and these come separate. This is very, very good. Form-fitting. Rubber makes a great seal. But if you look at this, we've got 3 valves in here. We've got this one. It's a one-way valve. Air goes out, air can't come in. These are just the opposite, okay? These, it's going to pull the air in and then slam shut. So they can't go out this way. So this gets rid of the hot air for the glasses. This brings in the fresh air from the side. It's very easy to breathe through this because you've got 3 valves helping you, because nothing else is going to move air. This is one giant area that moves air, so breathing in this is incredibly easy. But this is great. Some people like these. Some people don't like them because that rubber irritates the skin. If that's the case, then go to something like this. What these look like in the original packages are this. This is what I keep in my shop for when people come over and want to work with me. Okay, this is the filter that's replaced that goes into these. But I keep a box of these. And got the valve, one-way valve here so it doesn't fog the glasses. Here's the nose clip. And when my grandkids come over to help, or I've got people that want to use the shop, we're building stuff together, I've got masks for them. Because the masks for me, you just share those masks. Your mask should be your mask. So here we've got packages with this, soft seals, just like these. We've got the replacement packages, just like these. And I like these too because not only these are good as far as filters, they've got an activated carbon filter. Now this isn't enough carbon to make it safe to use in a really, if you're using spray paint or spray finishes with the really strong odors, it's not meant to do that. It's just meant to filter so you don't have to breathe them. But it's not designed and it's not rated to be used for spraying or putting on that real hazardous solvent type stuff. Let's see. This is this one. This is a very comfortable mask. It's very lightweight. It's got antimicrobial a product in here that kills germs. It's not necessary for the wood shop, but it also just has another benefit. It's a great wood shop mask. It stops the dust particle, but it's also got this microbial. If you hand wash this with a hand washing detergent, a real mild detergent, this won't affect the antimicrobial properties. You throw it in the washing machine or bleach it, and it's no longer antimicrobial, it's just a regular mask. But I do wear this a lot. It's extremely comfortable. Most all these adjust by a little slip ring here that you just pull closer, tight, and it's very, very easy. That's this one. This is the Dust Be Gone. This is what it looks like in the package. This is my favorite. Works very, very well. You already saw that you can I can put my glasses over here and keep it from fogging. It's effortless. I can talk in it normal. You don't sound muffled like you do for these. This one, it sounds like you're another planet. These ones work well. These will muffle your voice. So if you're trying to teach somebody or you're trying to talk to people while you're doing it, you're going to be stopped a lot and said, what did you say? What did you say? It's important that you be able to express yourself. Teaching or showing somebody something, this is really what you want. I've never had any mask that lets you talk as easily as this one does. Masks from Trend, they're going with the like this, but they're going for the hard plastic to keep its shape. One of the parts about masks, if you sit on one of these masks wrong, older, they don't keep their shape, so air starts leaking. We're not so much worried about air coming out, because this is for, we're worried about air coming in, because if there's a break in the seal and we're breathing in the wood dust, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the mask. So this is very good as far as keeping the shape, and because they use the hard plastic to give this body, they can make the rubber much, much softer. So whereas, well, this is fairly soft too, but it's just to make things a little bit more comfortable for the user. These are the big boys here, and you can see that I do use one of theirs. These are the clips. by GVS. This is the little one that I just showed you there. This big one here is designed not just for sawdust, this is designed for vapors. This is what I would wear if I was going to spray something in the shop, or if I'm using a particularly smelly type of product. And there's finishes that we've used, cleaners that we've used that have been particularly odorous. This will take them out. This is designed for organic vapors. This is what you want. This doesn't add oxygen, just lets you filter out those vapors. If you wore this into a room, was on fire, there was no oxygen, you'd fall right over, because this doesn't filter smoke. This filters what you normally find at a wood shop when you spray. This is something new they're going on to, because they figure that if it's bad enough with the dust mask, you also need your vision protected. So this is a new way it's going. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's pretty good. If you're a glasses wearer, this is going to be a little difficult. So you'd probably want to go with something like this. But note that even as big as this is not rated for these. It doesn't have these. It's rated for this, for just the dust. But here's something that's trying to protect your eyes also. The choice is yours. You really want to go for comfort and fit. You also want to be concerned with the common woods that we have here, and you'd be surprised at some of the toxicity levels. Normally, a piece of wood like this, or any piece of wood, if I can go and take a piece of California yew, which is really highly toxic, or English yew, which is really highly toxic, if I were to sand it, and I inhaled the sand, I could have a terrible allergic reaction. Everything about this wood is toxic. However, if I put a finish on this that seals this wood, that wood, after that finish heals, is not toxic anymore. Now, would I fill full of wine and drink it? Nope. But I can make it safe. So wood is normally safe, especially if it's sitting down with the finish on it. The only thing we're concerned about with these masks is not the fact that the wood is not safe. It's the fact that we don't want the dust in our lungs, because our body doesn't tolerate it very well. And over time, it could cause some serious problems. The best place to root it out at the source is right here with the filters. But it's also important that you realize that some of the wood we do use can hurt you. That's where this knowledge comes in, or that website right there. Anytime I'm going to start a project with the wood I've never used before, I'll look it up on one of these. And I want to see what it tells me about the dust. Some, like maple, ambrosia maple, could cause a severe allergic reaction. Okay, it's good to know. So I'll make sure I really have these masks on when I'm doing anything with ambrosia maple. And I use it all the time because it's a very pretty wood. It means you can't use the wood anymore. It just means just be careful.
Does that go for any spalted wood, right?
Oh, yes. Any spalted wood. Tamarind is a big one that the people are using. Anytime it's spalted, anytime it starts that decay process, you want to have here dust collection and a room filter. Filter, if you're going to put one of those big air filters in, and say you have a long narrow opening like this is your shop, you always want to put that air, the room air filter, on the side of the room. What you want to do is you want it to pull air in here, shoot it out here, and it's going to start a cyclone action that it's going to make the air filtration much more efficient. If you have a tap dead center that's shooting out here, it's going to hit this wall and start to bubble here and here, and it's not going to set up a general easy flow through the room. Put it on the side and make it go in a circle. A cyclonic action is going to be much, much easier to handle with. We can still get allergic reactions to wood from this dust on our hands, on our face, getting on your hands, rubbing your eyes. But the big thing we're trying to do with this is keep it out of our lungs. So, any other questions?